Put respect on their names for breaking invisible and physical chains.
NAACP, well, I started getting engaged in that work thanks to a lot of our matriarchs, Jerry Kimball, Margaret Stanley, Gretchen Plager, Doc Walker, so many others that have gone forward to do the work. And I got engaged just really to figure out how I can help. I noticed that the average age on the NAACP when I got involved was literally 75. And was like, hey, you all have been doing this work for a long time. How can I fit in to help push your work forward? And they just rallied around me and really helped shape me. And eventually I became the branch president, one of the youngest presidents they've had as a overall Port Huron branch. Really got really engaged in working closely with Doc Walker on understanding the bookkeeping and the treasury. He was the treasurer for over 40 years for this organization. Really dived in on understanding advocacy and understanding how to really create a seat at the table if their people aren't giving you one through Jerry Kimball. To make sure her voice was always heard, and really taught me the importance of making sure my voice is heard even when others try to silence it. And I thought those were great components. And then the history of the city. I thought was so important. So I would listen and read all of the wonderful materials that Margaret Stanley would provide to me, just so that I can understand the history of where we've been, so that I can see where we need to go.
We needed health care for our people. There's people who could come to the clinic, didn't have a doctor or didn't have availability to health care. That's why we demanded to have something out here for the people in the community.
When I first started as a CNA, like I knew no Black nurses at all. So I was just like, that's a little different. I even would like look at the board at SE4, like, let me see where like the Black nurses are, like who I could talk to or something. But as I continue to work, I met Miss Marilyn Moncrief. She worked at the hospital with me. And then Miss Mary Meadows. So they were very like, these were the first ones I worked with. They were influential in my life. I have two aunts, my Aunt Barbie Miller and my Aunt Virginia Miller, but I guess I didn't realize they were nurses, and what they did, they were just my aunts. Yeah, nursing has been in my family. Even my great grandma was like a CNA. I just think it takes you like seeing someone else outside of your family doing it sometimes to make you think like, oh, I can do it. There's other people that can do it.
One of my first inspirations was Mr. Jones. Watching him do it at the center, taking us places in the van, in the mobile home, over to Canada and stuff like that. Yeah. So I got a lot from him. It was just like a familyhood. We all ate together, went over there. It was like a family. Loved everything about it. He would come get us. Most of the time we didn't have to pay. He would pay for us to go over, have fun, come back. I just loved it.
Yeah, I approached the museum the February before the pandemic. So February 2020. And really, I just wanted to do something to honor my grandmother. I just felt like, she's done so much for Black History Month because it was right around that time. And seeing her grow older, knowing that she loves to do that kind of stuff, but she can't. And so I was like, well, it would be cool to like honor her in some kind of way. Yeah, to me, it was like, even if it's a plaque or something like that. And as I was talking to them, they acknowledged that they didn't have anything really recognizing the Black community as a whole. So they're like, is that something that you could help us put together? And I was like, yeah, I think I could do that. I didn't realize exactly what I was taking on, but, I certainly thought that was something I could help facilitate. So as we started to develop the idea, I figured, well, I'll base it off of the book, my grandmother's book, From Whence We Came. Because the book breaks down the different categories. And I said, you know what, we can break down the categories and we can certainly do some type of exhibit based on those categories. And so we kind of started working from there. Realized I needed to put a committee together. But again, we're navigating all of this also during the pandemic, which, for a while we were completely shut down and made it quite difficult, but we've made it. My mom actually keeps reminding me of how this is history. She's like, this is truly history. Like we've never had something like this at this scale, and it's permanent. And so sometimes she keeps reminding me of that, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but again, I'm in the middle of it right now, and I'm still doing research and talking to people, and so it is probably sink in eventually.
From whence we came, our history runs deep. We built this legacy. Remember their names. They shed blood and tears, overcame their fears and shame, so that things would be different, determined to usher in change, for the children to do better and remember from whence we came.